the Malayalam film industry. I mean, what the F was that? Hi guys, this is Farhad and welcome back to my channel Popcorn Reviews. If you're new to this channel, then please smash that subscribe button now. And as a video ritual, remember to like and comment on the video. Liking and commenting helps fuel the YouTube algorithm. And I yesterday was witness to one of the most violent films that I've ever seen from the Malayalam film industry for sure, and probably from Indian cinema as well. The Malayalam film that we are going to be talking about is Marco, which is starring Unni Mukundan. And oh my god, oh my god, the amount of violence and blood that was there in this film, I was flabbergasted to the core. And this is probably my second R-rated film that I've seen this year, and I call it R-rated because it is tilting towards that. It is not 16 plus, it is 18 plus, and it made for such a fun theater going experience, I must say. Now, coming to the story and screenplay, here I must actually add one line also, that one of the core ingredients of making an R-rated film is to keep the plot simple. So for those cinema purists, and I've been reading a lot of comments online, so for the cinema purists that are there, this is not for you. This film isn't for you, and I must say it with all humbleness. It's not as if I'm disregarding anyone that is there, but it's according to the taste of the individual that is there. If you're looking for a story here per se, which is generally the trait in a Malayalam film, you do look for stories. But this is not that film, which is not to say that this is a bad film. It is a great film. It is a landmark film in the Malayalam film industry, because one of the reasons why this film works is because the focus is unadulterated on the action that is there. It's unfiltered, unhinged, unapologetic, and absolutely all in with the kind of execution that takes place, with the violence that is there. Now this brings me to the character of Marco also. The character Marco that is there, I can easily draw parallels with that of the character of Ranbir Kapoor. He played the role of Ranvijay Singh in Animal that is there. You can draw parallels. Both of them are protective about their families. Both of them take to violence, particularly with respect to the protection of one of the characters in the family that is there, either to protect them or to seek revenge from them. And I think these are straight parallels that you can draw from that of Ranbir Kapoor in Animal, and it makes for a powerful watch. One of the reasons why Marco works is because it has a strong emotional core. Take any R-rated film that is there. If I can say it from the Hindi film industry, it would probably be Animal or Kill. Both the protagonists in each of the two films were able to form a connection with the viewers because of their strong emotional core. For Animal, it was, Ranbir Kapoor's obsession with his father that formed a strong bond with the audience also. There was a strong sentiment to that. Likewise in Kill, the Hindi film Kill that is there, the protagonist also had a strong connection with his fiance or his lover in the film, who gets killed only for the stakes to rise and for him to turn into a beast. Likewise here, Marco has a strong bond with his step brother that is there, and that character of the stepbrother forms the fulcrum of the film around which the plot works. Yes, this film has a typical Malayalam build-up, I must say, when there was lot of talks about it being the most violent film. To begin with, it has a typical Malayalam setup also. The opening sequence sets the context while drawing lines on who's who in the film, and also focuses on the character dynamics that play an important role in the family of Marco, who's essentially a cartel for gold, so to say. And so the parallel investigation that leads to one of the revelations in turn triggers one of the great fights of the film, which acts as an interval block that is there. It is brutal, but it is only Marco getting started. It's almost like a starter before the main course and the dinner that is there in this what seems like a 3-course meal for violence. I can just put it that way. It's a 3-course meal for violence. And the second half that is there, it almost is like a cat and mouse kind of cat and mouse kind of a chase, you can say, if I may say so, in which there are as many as four action set pieces that are there, and each one stands out. But oh boy, my favorite was that staircase sequence that was so beautifully shot. I mean, the technical prowess that is shown in that almost a one take sequence. Yeah, it was not an entire one take sequence, but parts of it, were long shots that were there in that intimate space, intimate setup that is there. The action prowess that was there was wonderful. Similarly, the third sequence that is there, in which the entire I don't want to give any spoilers, but the third sequence you would see which one is brutal, absolutely brutal, in which the makers go all out. And which is why the final, the face off that is there felt slightly underwhelming to me, but it was still pretty violent. I mean, there's no denying that there was no shortage of violence, no shortage of gore, and no shortage of blood that is there in this screenplay. That, I mean, it was a simple screenplay relative to other Malayalam films that have complex screenplays. This was a simple screenplay that was there, but executed superbly well. Now, coming to the technical aspects like dialogues, the music, and direction, I felt the dialogues were minimalistic, while the focus was only on the frames that was there, and rightly so. That elevated the drama to the next level. I must though say that the music and BGM by Ravi Basrur was slightly jarring to my ear. It still definitely highlighted the swag and the attitude of the killing machine that is there, the protagonist Marco. But at the same time, I think it was almost a little too jarring for me. I mean, there could have been a little beat to it. Barring that, I still think that the BGM is not an entire train wreck. It still works in parts, but this is the one little weakling that I felt, of it was slightly jarring to my ear, is what I can say, the complaint that was there. But the cinematography is outstanding, and it has a lot of technical prowess with which the frames capture the violence that is there. It's absolutely stupendous and makes for a fabulous watch. The action choreography is excellent also. The editing intersperses the cuts of the action without diluting its impact, and it makes for a solid watch. Director Haneef, I think he does a wonderful job. Haneef Adeni. Of course, this is a spin-off of, this is a reimaginary spin-off of a character from his previous film, Michael, that is their 2019 film, which I haven't watched, so I don't know anything about his world. But he did, one of the main victories for the director was that he remained committed to his craft, which basically meant that even if there was a little barter between, the story being simplistic or the characters being slightly one-dimensional, he was committed to making the film violent, which he did at the end of the day. Violence is what he had promised, and violence is what he served, and how. So this is a tremendous victory for the director, no two ways said. I have a very high threshold for violence, by the way, I must say. So I was pretty fine, but if you are faint-hearted and you definitely might puke also in this film, so just be wary of that. Coming to the performance, I felt the performances are pretty good, although the characterization still was pretty one-dimensional, and none of the characters really had an arc. It was pretty much binary, it was black and white, so to say. But when the focus again is on violence, I didn't seem to mind this at all. Because I was in for the action, I must say, and I was supremely impressed. So the film definitely, there are characters like Abhimanyu, who does well, is Dilip, I think, who does well. Also the veterans, Jagdish, and Jagdish also manages to make a mark. Anton Paul also is pretty solid. Kabir Duhan Singh rather, I think he has... if there's one distinction of having a limited screen time but making a maximum use of it, I think it is by Kabir, and he does such a wonderful job. It's infuriating, but he's the perfect nemesis for Marco that is there. When the girls Durvi and Yukti, they do a pretty good job at the end of the day, despite the limited screen time that is there. But it is Unni Mukundan who absolutely smashes it out of the park. And how? I mean, he has a certain swag to it, and it's so heartening to see the artist, fully committing to the vision of the director that is there, and it makes for a pretty solid watch. I mean, if I have to say, if it's an understatement to say that he's good, because he's brilliant. He shines even in the combat sequences, which are infectious. I wanted that, chainsaw to go on the face of that, the bad guys. That is, I'm the most non-violent person. You must trust me on that. But that was the kind of emotion that the film brought out in you, and he was committed to the role, Unni Mukundan, and I think he did a bloody brilliant job here. He was wonderful to witness. So overall, Marco will perhaps go as one of the most violent films ever from the Malayalam film industry, and probably also from the Hindi film from the Indian cinema, that is there, from Indian cinema point of view, that is there. It's probably on par with Kill, if not better. But it's highly recommended. If you're an action fan, blindly go for it. If you're a cinema purist and if you are seeking for story here, then this film isn't for you. You might as well skip this film. And that's about it. I mean, I loved Marco, and it was, I think, a spectacular film. This is that one missing thread in the Malayalam filmography this year, an R-rated action film. That Malayalam film industry has absolutely smacked it out of the park in what has been a brilliant 2024, for the industry. I'm still to watch Rifle Club. I'm still looking forward to Barrows, which means there's less than 10 days to go and 2 films to go from the Malayalam film industry, which I need to watch. So lots going on, but it's been a spectacular year for the industry, and this film just sums it up. Highly recommended, Marco. So if you're liking this video, please smash that like button. Remember to comment on what did you make of the film. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What was your crazy theater experience like? Did you squint your eyes? Did you watch it? Did you feel, yeah, it's pretty normal? Was it very extreme for you? You tell me in the comments, and I will be happy to oblige with the replies that is there. Also, you can share this video with your friends and family. Ask them to subscribe to the channel. Let's grow this Digi family together. Also, you can visit my site, Popcorn Reviews with a double S. My detailed review of Marco is on my site, the link of which is in the description box below. Also, all the latest releases, I have made notes of, and I've prepared reviews of. You can read them in your language on my site, Popcorn Reviews with a double S, link of which again is in the description box below. The captions of which are on my social media handles like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Letterboxd. I do not end up making a video on everything that I watch, but I do write a lot. You know the drill. So you can leave a follow on my social media handles as well, and visit my site as well. I'll see you again soon with another video. There are a lot of videos coming your way by the year end. Until then, take care of yourselves, and thank you so much for your love and support. Cheers.